Hey VC, this is Eric. So a lot of people are doing the 10 perfect albums contest entry for Andy's Vinyl Den, and this one's mine. So I'll put the link for Andy's channel down below. This was something that was hard for me to come up with a list because there's so much good stuff and stuff I really like and love, but I tend to be attracted to what I call flawed masterpieces, which are albums that are almost there and might have one or two tracks that I go to. So yeah, I'm just gonna start off with kind of a cheat. So the rule was no live albums, although really I can't show Kick Out the Jams by the MC5, their first record, which is a classic. Anyway, this is actually a two-for album, and this is the CD I have that's got that album, Shock Troops by Coxbar, which is one of, if not the greatest UK punk album that most people don't know about. If you like The Clash, you got to check out Shock Troops. So I do have, I actually have a big box set of Coxbar that's got everything that I'm going to show in another video. So I have the standalone LP of this, but I just really quickly wanted to show the compact disc. Talk about Shock Troops is a perfect album in my opinion. This disc has Shock Troops and then the follow-up Running Riot 84, which we'll just forget about that. Where Are They Now? Riot Squad, Working, Take 'Em All, We're Coming Back, England Belongs to Me, Watch Your Back, I Got Your Number, Secret Army, Droogs Don't Run, Out on an Island. If you've never heard Out on an Island, that is one of the greatest UK punk songs ever. Argy Bargy and Colonel Bogey. Solid, perfect album in my opinion. Every track is listenable. Colonel Bogey's kind of a whistled thing, so, you know, whatever. It's like 30 seconds or something. So it's not like you're gonna love that one necessarily, but that's kind of an outro deal. So, these aren't in any order, because I don't like putting stuff in order, because then we get into, well, that's a punk album, this is a metal album, this is a whatever album. So, there's my second wave UK punk album. I don't think I have another one in there. Jack Blackberry's Desperate Fires. One of my personal favorite bands. If you guys see this one in the discount bins, if you see it for $1 or $2, pick it up. Cowpunk, 80s punk rock mixed with 70s country rock. To whatever your taste is. There's a bunch of these bands. Rank and File, which I'm not showing in this video, but I'll show at some point, is probably the spearhead of the movement. But Jack Blackberry's is my personal favorite. Rochester, New York. I still got the hype sticker. I've talked about these guys before, so check them out. The other Cowpunk album I think is perfect. Blood in the Saddles, Poison Love. Love this cover. Just great country punk rock stuff. One Step Away, Police Sirens, Steal You Away, Poison Love. Thought I heard some thunder. Bed of Roses, Colt 45, Promise Your Heart to Me. Let me put that one down. In the Pines, A Mother's Love, Abilene. Killer Stuff featuring Annette Zalaskins, who was the original bass player for the Bengals. This is a great record. So, Legal Weapon, Death of Innocence. Once again, I have actually shown the LP of this, but I had my compact disc handy. Great LA punk stuff that people don't know. Every track's a great one. Radio, Birdman, Radios Appear. You like the Stooges? You like the MC5? You like Blue Oyster Cult? You like the Ventures? You should check out Radio Birdman. High energy rock and roll from Sydney, Australia, by way of my hometown, Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Iceman there with the guitar, that's Dennis Tech. He's a naval flight surgeon who's also a rock star. They were kind of the focal point of the Australian rock scene. He's also an emergency room doctor, which basically makes him Buckaroo Banzai. He was also a Navy flight surgeon and fighter pilot whose call sign was Iceman, and he was stationed in Hawaii when the screenwriters of Top Gun were there to do research, reportedly. Make of that what you will. Great record. So good. If you, like I said, you like that 70s proto-punk, the Stooges and that 5, you got to check out some Radio Birdman and Radios Appear, which, by the way, is a reference to Blue Oyster Cult. The Damned, Machine Gun Etiquette, talked about this before. Multiple versions of this album out. Whichever one you grab should be fine. This is the 25th anniversary edition one. Some bonus tracks and stuff. But just classic, classic, classic. All right. All you country guys, I have yet to see anybody show this record. It's not completely country. It's a little bit rock and roll. But Lee Hazelwood, Cowboy in Sweden. Killer record. So good. If you think these boots are made for walking and the stuff he did with Nancy Sinatra was all Lee Hazelwood was about, you need to check out this record. It's so good. All right. Screaming Trees Dust, the requiem for the Seattle / grunge scene, in my opinion. This is psychedelic alternative with a roots rock edge, and I love that cover. It's one of the greatest covers, I think, of the 90s. Love this band. Love this album. It's one that more people need to know. Bimbo Wizard by the Ultra Bimbos from Finland. One of the great bands of that high energy rock and roll scene of the late 90s, early 2000s. I prefer them to the Donnas. I prefer them to any of those hip of the moment girl groups. Just killer, straight ahead rock and roll. King's X Ear Candy. Now, King's X made a lot of albums. They made a lot of good albums. I could be showing Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. But Ear Candy, I think, is perfect. Don't think there's a bad song on this album. This might be, to me, their last great album. It's been a while since I've checked out some of their follow-up albums where they got a little more experimental. But, sorry, I keep shoving this at the camera there. Ear Candy is the album that I think is perfect. And finally, one of my favorite records. Very special record to me. One I know I've probably shown before. And I'm so happy these guys have a new record coming out next month. And I'll be getting that, of course. The Forbidden Dimensions, Somebody Down There Loves Me, or Likes Me. Great high energy, horror punk, rock and roll. Points to Blue Oyster Cult and punk rock and 60s garage rock and heavy metal and all of that killer stuff. If you do see this, pick it up. If you see this in the discount bins or you see this used, you're not going to find this around for very long. This is something that never came out in vinyl. This is if I could put anything on vinyl today, I would. This is this album. So, anyway, that's my entry. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit me up on Facebook, whatever, tweet me. 10 albums that I think are perfect. There you go.